First introduced in 1935 in northern Queensland, the cane toad, Buffo marinus, was hoped to be a means of control over agricultural pests such as French's cane beetle and the greyback cane beetle. The toad is toxic to most animals. It is able to expand and colonize at alarming rates, only limited by environmental factors such as the availability of water for breeding, tolerable temperatures, suitable shelter, and an abundance of food. For the past 75 years, the cane toads have been exploding in territorial pursuit, now spanning throughout the Northern Territory, encroaching in on Western Australia, and has most recently hit New South Wales. This is Australia's most well-known invasive species.
So what exactly is an invasive species?
An invasive species is a species occurring beyond its natural distribution and which threatens native, environmental, agricultural, and other social resources via the damage it causes. They are a result of human interference and are a common threat to many native habitats and ecosystems around the world, having detrimental effects on biodiversity. Invasive animals are considered a threat because they have the potential to cause community-level changes to ecosystems in which they invade and establish, causing disequilibrium and changes to certain processes. This can lead to indigenous species declines and extinctions. One species whose population numbers have dropped dramatically in recent years due to the invasion of the toad is the freshwater crocodile, which is largely endemic to the wetlands of northern Australia.
So cane toads are found throughout the range of the freshwater crocodile, the geographical range of the freshwater crocodile.
The sight of freshwater crocodile carcasses floating belly side up in the water, their stomachs bloated and full of cane toads, is becoming a common sight for park rangers, conservation volunteers, and tourists throughout this region. Since the arrival of cane toads, a massive 77% of freshwater crocodile populations have died. This is largely due to the large parotoid glands of the adult cane toad that produce venom, known as a cardiotoxin, a poison that stops the heart.
As the freshies are encountering the toads for the first time, they are unable to deal with this poison, and many are dying as a result.
We also have found did observe a freshwater crocodile one night eating a cane toad. We don't know what the fate of that crocodile was, whether he died or not, but from the toxins in cane toads, you would suspect that crocodile probably died from ingesting that cane toad.
However, some species severely impacted by toad invasion recover within a few decades via aversion learning and long-term adaptive changes.
But toads have been up in the Cape since the early 80s, and we still see freshwater crocodile populations at reasonably high numbers and a number of larger individuals. Some nights you can't walk around the waterholes without standing on cane toads.
This can be seen with some species of goanna, as many populations have recovered due to their behavioural adaptation to no longer prey upon the cane toad. So far, no native species have gone extinct as a result of the toad invasion.
However, keeping statistics in mind, the crocodile populations of northern Australia have not recovered, nor have they exhibited any behavioural adaptations towards the cane toads. This could be due to their arid and more restricted environment and subsequent lesser amount of prey.
The negative impacts of toads on crocodiles appear to be greater in these hot, semi-arid landscapes than in cooler, higher rainfall areas where crocodiles have access to a wider prey base. Many of our native Australian species are dying as a result of the cane toad invasion. Like the freshwater crocodile, these species may look like they can handle themselves, but a simple invader like the cane toad can outbalance and disrupt many of the fragile ecosystems that make our Australia.
The question is whether we try and fix the mistake that we made 70 years ago and manage the toad invasion, or do we leave it up to nature to once again find the balance?